Let's check. Nice. It's working. Alright. Welcome back. It's been a while, but we're back. To Rogue Boys commentary for the upcoming season. Season 11. Tier 2 turned into Tier 3. But it's the same tier. But it's time for pre-season today. At Zandvoort. Yesterday I participated in the Tier 2 race. Tonight we're gonna have. We're gonna kick off the Tier 3 season with pre-season. Let's go over the grid while we are at it, the full-time grid that is. So last season's Tier 3 champion, which is now Tier 4, will be lining up alongside Skullkiller in the Mercedes, Haza and Mahmoudev in the Red Bull. Josh Boschman and Carnatar will both be driving the Kicksauber. Last year's champion Jesus is going to be lining up alongside Parzival in the Ferrari. Too Murky and Madman both in the Haas. Jumpy Painter and Stelios in the Aston Martin. Wardy and Alpha Hype Wall in the McLaren. Sol and Shark in the RB. Zimniak and Balov in the Alpine. And last but definitely not least, Skinner and Tolu in the Williams. That's going to be the grid we'll be starting off this season with. As we kick off qualifying, let's get the settings right. First to go out is LAF in the Aston Martin, which is the reserve driver for tonight. Good to be back on track. Zandvoort, a really fun track to drive. We did the social race, I think it was 2 weeks ago, forced cockpit cam. Was some good fun. And yesterday was a good race as well in Tier 2. Let's hope we get a good race tonight as well in Tier 3. Out on track we've got Josh Boschman as well, Haza, as Paul's Ray has retired from the session. Must have been a qualifying ban. It is a qualifying ban. So that explains. He will be starting at the back of the grid, as LAF is going to be the first one to start a lap time in the new season. That's right on board with the Aston Martin. Turn the banked turn 3. Traction out of here is very important. Bit over the outside curb and flat out up the hill. This corner can be taken flat out with the right setup, and especially in qualifying. And this one as well, but is very tricky with both the inside and the outside curb. The outside curb especially can drag you right into the gravel and completely ruin your lap. So no risks taken so far in this first attempt. Now on the back straight, second DRS straight into the chicane. To run as close to the inside curb as possible. Let it run out wide into the final couple of corners. This outside curb can drag you along into the wall as well, so have to be careful with that. Full throttle through the final corner and across the line. First lap, I'm on board 110.4. That's decent enough first lap. As per usual on the mediums. Not quite able to get inside the 110s. Josh Boschman is able to get into the 19s already with a 109.593. That's a very solid banker lap. Puts him right at the top. Ahead of Shark, who slots into second place. They wait for the two Haas drivers, both starting their laps to Cherry into turn 1. Tier 3, now tier 4 driver last season, I think. Reserve, not quite sure. But he did participate in the social events. And I think he got a podium finish in the 100% Monaco race, which is quite an achievement. So can be proud of that going into the season. Not many drivers finished that race. I think only 5 or 6. And I crashed out myself as well. Skinner, I don't think I've got him on EA, unfortunately. Let's hope he can get back into the lobby as soon as possible. Around the final corner, flat out to the line. And it's gonna be a 110, 384. Puts him in between Shark and LAF for now. Brennan in P6 on their first attempt. Ollie in P7. The other has. Anton in on the mediums as well. 114.0. It's probably not going to be the best lap. Across the line now into the 111, so that's more like it. Alpha Wall has just gone up into P2. Skullkiller in P3 as well. So good effort from Skullkiller on his first lap. And let's see what Tolu can do. It was very quick last season. I think he won a race. In Tier 2, it's very confusing to talk about the tiers when they have changed. Tier 2 last season is the Tier 1 of this season, behind Tier X, so... No, that's not right. Tier 2 last season is Tier 3 this season. I'm already confused. Anyway, Tolu on the final sector. Looks to be going purple through the middle part of the lap. Can he convert it into a provisional pole position? That's the question. I love you, sign my child. What? What are you saying? Tolu across the line. 110. Oh, 09. Yeah, Rip Brennan has done a lap. Only good enough for P9 at the moment though. Carnotaur is on the lap. Same for Stelios. And 33 drivers who are yet to set a lap time. The other two being Skinner, who I'm sure, not quite sure if he's in the lobby yet. And Jesus, a last season champion, is going out. He's gone from Mercedes to Ferrari like Lewis Hamilton will do in real life. See how it will pan out for him. Around the final two corners. Is he on a lap? I think he is. Oh, running a bit onto the grass on the inside. And Carnotaur across the line. 110.3. And Stelios onto the front row into the 1.9s as well. That's a very good effort from the Aston Martin. And the Alpine, 30 across the line into P8. So we only wait for reigning world champion Jesus as he starts his lap. Yeah, I don't think I've got you added, Skinner. So for me that's going to be difficult. Oh, I do actually. My bad. I overlooked that. Let me know if you get in. Actually, I will see in the bottom of the screen. I completely looked over it, so sorry. But there's still 9 minutes left, so I should be able to do another lap. Sometimes I have to invite twice before the invite comes through, so if you could tell me if it's gone through or not, I'll know. As Jesus rounds the final corner. And into the 1/9 as well, onto the top 3. Was to be expected from the reigning world champion. And he's 0.02 of a second ahead of Alpha Hype Wall. Yeah, last season's tier 3 drivers, they are gonna struggle. But it's gonna be competitive. Certainly gonna be fun to watch as Brennan, think, improves his lap time, but not his position, and stays in P13. And then invite again, because why not? Oh, well, might have restarted. Anyone else on a lap? Haza is on an improvement, only by a marginal amount, 1/10 of a second. He was on the mediums on his first run. Now he's improving by 3.5 tenths to the middle part of the lap, so that's where he really gained the time. 3/10, 3/4 can get him around Brannan, that would be around P14, unless he finds a lot more time in the final sector across the line. And he does find a lot more time in the final sector. 1:10.3, and good enough to place him just inside the top 10. Anton in the Ferrari. The only one in the 111s, but he is going to change that across the line. 1:10.6, improves by 2 positions. And P16, that is. A little bit wide from Sol, but he was just within the track limits. Did he lose too much time with that though, is the question. Did lose a bit, improved his time but not his position. Yeah, let me know if you can get in. I'll send you another one, just in case. It's all I can do. Unfortunately. Cross-platform sometimes brings trouble. Not sure if it's if there's... Oh yeah, joined. There we go. That's good to see. 5.5 minutes remain. As Shark, has he just gone up to the front row? I think he has. That's a very good lap. As Tolu across the line onto provisional pole position. Finally someone who was able to beat Josh Washman's time. Not by much, 0.04 of a second, but Tolu is now on provisional pole position. And we are currently in a Williams sandwich with Tolu in P1 and Skinner, of course, yet to set a lap time down in 20th. But let's hope that's going to change soon. Is Carnator on an improvement? Don't think he is. He's pulling back into the pit lane, so that answers my question. KOR 30 is not on a lap. And nobody is. Almost the entire grid in pit lane. Preparing for their final laps with 4.5 minutes to go. Shark is on another attempt, and he's improving as well through sector 1 by 0.02 of a second. But it is very close at the top. If we look at the gaps, he's only 1.5 tenths, even less than that behind Tolu in P1. Almost the entire field is within a second, but he runs wide onto the back straight, and I think that's not going to be an improvement. He's now a tenth down, and wouldn't be surprised if he pulls into the pit lane at the end of this lap and try again with just over 3 minutes remaining. He is putting into the pit lane, so he will have another lap to try and improve and try and snatch that pole position on debut. Mahmoud is improving by a tenth of a second. Could get him up to P8. Gap to P7 is quite significant. He's lost a little bit of time in the middle sector as well. Still could get the Alpine in front. And he's putting into the pit lane, and I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make that to go out on another lap. We'll have to find out. Alpha High Wall on a flying lap, 2 tenths up through the middle, the first sector. Could be a provisional pole position lap here from the McLaren. Second sector. Ooh, lost a lot of time in the middle sector. Lost all the time that he gained in sector 1. Completely down the drain through the middle part of the lap, and he's now well 14 thousandths down on his time going into the final sector. Can he find anything through the final couple of corners? The answer is no, and he's putting into the pit lane with 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining. To the Sterry is backing up as well. Ooh, that's a bit of an awkward place to slow down. Will he get up to speed in time, or will he do another warm-up lap? I think the latter. Skoker not improving either. Sol has just started his lap. Same for Haza. More Blaze is driving very slowly. We see Skinner out on track, so good to see that he can attempt at least one flying lap. Let's see what he can make of it. Teammate is on provisional pole position for now. Is he going to be able to get anywhere near that? No shame if he doesn't, with only one lap. Pretty much a one-shot qualifying. Around the final corner, just under a minute remaining in this session. What's it gonna be? Across the line, P8, and that's a very solid effort. Within half a second of his teammate. Good lap, good effort. Let's see where it gets him come the end of qualifying. Asa grabbing a little bit of a slipstream onto the line. He's gonna start his flying lap now. Predator is in a bit of traffic. Josh Boschman, is he on a lap, or is he about to start when he's on a lap? And he goes to the top with a 109.5 by 400ths of a second, puts it ahead of Tolu, and back onto pole position. As Tolu has retired from the session, he's not going to be improving. Is there anyone else? Carnator up to P4, was right behind the Mercedes driver. Not sure if it was Skoker. It was Skoker, maybe holding up the Sauber. Further across the line, has gone up into P10 in Stadios across the line. P3, just ahead of Shark, who is done as well. Anyone else? Jesus, can he find the time? Can the reigning world champion put it on the front row? No, he can't. Misses out by only a couple of hundredths of a second. And in the end, only good enough for P3. But that's something you can work with. As Brandon across the line, P8, and beats his teammate by a few hundredths. Is down in P9. Haza now across the line. What can he do? Can he find a little bit of time? He can. Just ahead of his teammate in P13. And Mahmoud is completely level to his time in the middle sector. Can he find anything? Across the line, he can. gets ahead of his teammate, gets ahead of Skinner, who in the end will be starting from P13. Skullkiller is taking a rather adventurous road back to the pit lane. And Carnotaur is not on a lap either. So that's it for qualifying. Josh Boschman is gonna be on pole position for this pre-season race. 400ths separating himself from Tolu in P2. Reigning world champion Jesus in P3 ahead of Stelios. Very good job from him as well. And Shark in P5. It's very close, the entire field. Almost covered within 1 second. Carnotaur in the other Sauber is in P6, so a strong start from the reigning world champions Sauber. Toots Terry in P7 out of Alpha High Wall, and the two Mercedes of Rip Brennan and Skullkiller will round out the top 10. In the end, Skullkiller only 4/10 of pole, but he's down in P10. It is an incredibly close grid. And we have seen that last season as well. And no different this season. KY30 will line up in P11 ahead of Mahmoudev in the Red Bull P12. Skinner with only 1 lap in the end, P13 ahead of Hassa. Soul Demon P15, LEF 16th, Ollie 17, more place V18, Anton P19, and Paul's Ray will start from the back of the grid after serving a qualifying ban he got last season, at the end of last season. Well, it's an advantage that he can serve it in the pre-season race and doesn't have to do it in the actual season. But he will be lining up in P20. That was so poor from me in qualifying. It's only upwards from here. Cannot be can't be any worse. So at least you're out of the opening lap trouble. Got only one driver behind you. Last first around Zandvoort. Well, I doubt it, but I love your optimism. Let's see what you can do. Might need a safety car too for that. But this tier has never been shy to any safety cars, so let's see. Learning cockpit cam, that's very fun. So are you driving cockpit cam for this race? Well, I highly respect that. Because it's much different. The social event was a forced cockpit cam around this track. I did find it very fun, but certainly wasn't as quick as I am on the TV pod offset. Yeah, for the realism, it's very fun to drive. But to be competitive with it, that's another thing. In under a minute time, we will get this race going. First race of the new season, season 11. Let it be a good one and a sign of things to come. 9/10 of time trial. Well, time trial is always a bit slower, and it's 9:28 local time. It's time to go racing. The lights are out, and Josh Wasserman has got an okay start, but an even better for Tolu, who's make contact already going into turn 1. Poor start from Josh Wasserman in the end, as Jesus tries to go the long way around the outside. They're almost 3 wide, and Jesus takes the lead from P3 on the grid. What a start from the reigning world champion. He's on the softs, but he's got ahead of Tolu and Josh Wasserman, who is going to be starting on the mediums. Stadios is able to stay in front of Carnator. He's on the softs. So both of the Saubers are on mediums. Shark as well in P6, and we've all made it through the first sector without any trouble. It looks like, so that's very good to see. So we see Paul's Ray already has gained 4 positions up to P16 from 20th on the grid. But what a start that was from Jesus, from P3 to P1, as Josh Wasserman got a poor launch off the line and made contact with Tolu as well. And Jesus just went completely around the outside into turn 1. An incredible move to take the lead of this race. All sorts of field shuffling at the back, fighting it out for the final few positions in this race. Paul's Ray has dropped the position down to P17 he is. They're fighting it out at the front. Josh Wasserman has made contact with Stadus, I think, and Josh Wasserman half spun it, and he's down to P5. The pole position man has gone from P1 to P5 in just over 1 lap of racing. It's not the start you would have hoped for. He's now behind his teammate as well, who's done quite the opposite on the same set of tires. He's gained 2 positions, same as Jesus, of course, and Soul Demon 3 positions up. Paul's Ray 4 positions up. Josh Wasserman lost 4. Oh, and that's Stelios has gone off, and I wonder if he hit the curb of death, like you can call it, on the outside of the flat out bit. Can really drag you into the gravel, and I think it just went into the gravel as Alpha Hype Wall on the inside of Soots Terry is not quite what he would have wanted, and Rip Brannan is around, and he's got damage to the front wing as well. Tier 3 champion of last season is on lap 2, has found the wall, spun around, and he's got damage as well as Tolu takes the lead on lap 3. It's all kicking off in this opening phase of this race. Battles all around. Shark is able to get past Carnator, runs a little bit wide, and is passed by the Haas now as well, down to P6. Saubers are really struggling in these first few laps. Rip Brannan into the pit lane. He is, or he was. No, he is now on hards. Not sure what tire he was on. Didn't quite catch it, but doesn't matter now, as he is forced to pit. Oh, and Carnator hitting a bit of gravel, going into the corner, runs wide, and then loses another position to Alpha Wall. Now he's got Stadios around his outside. Can he go the long way around the outside? He can. Stadios up to P7, Carnator down to P8. We see the tire allocation, so the top 2 are on softs. Alpha Wall, Stadios, Soul Demon, LAF and Paul's Ray are all on the softs as well, and the rest of them are all on the mediums, except for Rip Brannan, who has just pitted for a new set of tires and a new front wing, probably. They're fighting it out there, and the back end of the top 10 Skoker is able to get past Soul Demon and is now up into P10. Bit of contact between Sol and Haza into turn 3. Tolu in the lead, but he's got Jesus right up his gearbox. But it has already kind of become a 2-horse fight at this stage. Soft medium is definitely possible around here. Yesterday in the tier 2 race, Makatak did the soft medium and he won it from P9 on the grid. But you have to save the tires a lot. as Jesus retakes the lead on lap 5. Skoker down to P12, has been overtaken by both Sol and Haase. As Paul's race trying to make a move into turn 1. Oh, a bit of contact between him and Ollie, who was staying on the outside. Paul's race thought he had it cleared, but he hadn't. And they almost both went straight into the wall, but Paul's race now up into P14. Oh, in the background, more place. I would assume he hit the outside curb as well, straight into the gravel. That's a lot of time lost. Are we going to see a change of lead? What we are going to see is R5 Wall spinning around, and he had hit the wall. Damage to the front wing. Is almost driving backwards. It's a bit of a dangerous situation, but R5 Wall has gone off and presumably hit the wall on the left hand side. Like I mentioned before, you can get dragged into the wall by the outside curb there. So that's both McLarens, both getting dragged along with the curb, and both losing a lot of time. And R5 Wall straight into the pit lane, gets a 10-second penalty for good measure. Squad damage all the way down at P19. Can it get any worse from here? He would really need a safety car of any kind to get back into this race. What a fight we're witnessing here for P3. Josh Bushman has got Shark around the outside. Toots Terry now fighting it out with Stelios as well. 4 cars trying to fight on the same piece of track. Shark up the inside, almost contact between himself and Josh Bushman. Toots Terry around the outside into the wall goes Shark, as Toots Terry just had his nose in between the RB and the wall, and Shark sent into the wall, and he's got front wing damage, but he is continuing on. As we look into turn 1, we've got KWR Faraday out of absolutely nowhere is fighting it out for P4, and Toots Terry has lost a few positions as well because of that moment. In the meantime, Tolu has retaken the lead. The gap has, because of that, now grown to 5.5 seconds to Josh Bushman in P3. But it's quite a chaotic opening stage of this race. Oh, in the background, Shark has gone off. Did he hit the curb as well? He's fighting it out with half a front wing. Haase gets ahead. Now Sol is going to have a look up the inside of his teammate. Can't really see it. There he goes. Oh, and makes contact with Haase as well. Skoker trying to go around the outside of Shark, and he's able to get it done. And pulls right up the inside as well. Shark is dropping like an absolute stone with the front wing damage he's got. Stadios gets past Josh Bushman for P3. And more damage now, and the safety car is being deployed. Safety car is out, and that's LAF, lost his front wing. Getting onto the main straight, and there is the safety car that Alpha Hype Wall desperately needed. And Rip Brennan probably as well, who was a whole pit stop behind the rest of the field. But first safety car of the season on lap 8 of this race. More players, Ollie and LAF, 3 of them have pitted. Is Brennan gonna stay out? Yep, he is. Is Alpha Ball gonna stay out? He just pitted onto a new set of mediums. But he is gonna come in anyway. Probably gonna put on a set of hards, if he has one, to make it to the end of the race. Slows down a lot to try and make sure he doesn't get another 10-second penalty. Better safe than sorry. It is, and he has to serve the penalty. I wonder if he's going to be able to come out in front of Tolu, because if he's going to be lapped, well, that's pretty much race over at that point. but fortunately for him, the leaders are coming in as well. Alpha High Wall gets released, and everyone is coming in. Except for Swoot Sterry, he is staying out, he's the only one. From the front, he's the first one to stay out. Should mention Haza is staying out as well on mediums, and Skullkiller. Those three are the only drivers to not make a pit stop under this safety car. Alpha High Wall, luckily enough, is ahead of the field. Barely ahead of the field, but he is ahead. And is not going to get lapped. So that's very fortunate. But now we find ourselves with a new race leader in the name of Swoot Sterry. Haza in P2 and Skullkiller in P3. Would have thought that after just 8 laps of racing. Paul's Ray, quite the comeback so far. P10 it is right now. And make that P7 if the top 3 pit as well. So P20 to P7 so far, and only 8 laps have passed. Surprisingly enough, after 9 laps, we still got all 20 cars in competition. Don't see that quite often. But it's very good to see. It will take a moment before we get this race going again. Alpha High Wall is absolutely miles off the rest of the pack. So I think a lap or 2 before we can get back to green flag racing. And as we look at the tires, the majority has pitted onto hards, but Jesus has gone on to mediums. And that's a big surprise, because you're not going to make it to the end on mediums, I can tell you that. So unless he's going to do some extreme tire management, he's going to have to pit again, if not. Same for LAF. And Alpha High Wall. Those are the 3 on mediums, besides the top 3 who are yet to pit. Maybe expecting another safety car. It's still very possible with all 20 cars in competition. The safety car is not going to go in at this lap though. Alpha High Wall is still 15 seconds off. But it will go in next lap. Lap 11 on to 12. Still 25 laps to go. Yeah, shame to not have you around for this race. Would have been a good race. Certainly see you in the actual season. Alpha High Wall has finally caught up to the back of the pack. Make sure to not overtake each other on the safety car. We switch our focus to these guys at the front are on older tires, 10 laps old to be exact. And the safety car in this lap, confirmation at the top. And Twoodsterry is going to be leading the field ahead of Hasa and Skoker. Then it's Toto and Jesus, the previous race leaders, on to hards and mediums. So I reckon Jesus is going to try and get past Toto as soon as possible. And the top three, of course, who are going to be slower on the used tires. And when is the Haas going to go? Hasa right behind him, and there he goes. On to lap 12, and it's green flag racing once again. Bolster has already overtaken someone before the flag. That's not allowed. He's going to have to give that position back, and he does. But Twoodsterry still leaning into turn 1. There goes single fight. Except for Ferdy and Josh Boschman. Ferdy ahead of the Sauber. Yellow flags are out, and who's that gone off? Is it Pauls Ray has gone off. He's down to P20 again. All the good work has become undone for the Alpine, who started in P20, worked his way up to P10, P9. He's now all the way back down in P20. That's very unfortunate to see. Oh, contact between Shark and Brennan, who sent it up the inside, and he hit the back end of the V-Carb, who's now still going wheel to wheel with him. He's been sent to the back of the field. P19 that is. Lap 13 we go, and Twoodsterry is still leading this race. Kokeler's under pressure from Toto, who is putting alongside. DRS enabled, and Toto into turn 1 is going to get past, and Jesus is going to try and do the same. But Kokeler still hanging on around the outside, and is trying to defend, but ooh, bit of contact. Jesus is having the tire advantage. Now has the better exit. 2 wheels on the grass. With in the background, and it's kicking off, and that's Stadios into the wall on the run up the hill. Well, it's making contact with the Alpine or Josh Boschman, not quite sure. But Stadios is around, and Skoker has hit the curb, I think. It's down to P7 now. Race certainly doesn't lack any action. Need to figure out where I'll fit in there. Well, I hope to have you around next week for the season opener, as Hasa is our new race leader, takes the lead on lap 14. Both Shark and Stelios into pit lane. Presumably because they've got front wing damage after each having a separate incident, and the safety car has been deployed. And why is that happened? Well, that's because it happened because More Plates has lost his front wing coming out of turn 3, and that is the second safety car deployment, and that is some pretty good news for Hasa, Twoodsterry and Skoker, who hadn't pitted yet, because they will have the tire advantage and they won't lose as much time as they would have with a regular pit stop under green flag racing. Pauls Race seems to be pretty happy with it as well. He can try again. And Hasa staying out. He is still staying out on 14 lap old mediums. The other two are pitting though. But well, that's a big surprise. Carnotaur and Brennan into the pit lane, as well as more players who of course lost his front wing. So didn't really have a choice. And Carnotaur has had some damage as well, getting his front wing replaced. Comes out behind Red Brennan with 21 laps to go. The mediums are going to be a bit of a stretch, but it might be possible. Some tire management, certainly going to be possible, because I saw McAttack do it yesterday. He was pitting on lap 16, I think, from softs to mediums, and they made it to the end on just 43% on the front left. It's very impressive, but it is possible. Yeah, some driving standards are a bit off. Could agree on that. But yeah, it is the first race after a few weeks. And it's pre-season, unfortunately. Yes, Ollie gets a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. That's a bit silly. And Hazza has pitted now, a lap later. I'm not sure what the logic is behind that, because I think he might drop behind. Well, yeah, certainly drop behind Tuasteri and Rip Brennan. He's also drop behind more Place and Stadial. So interesting decision there by Hazza. He's going from first down to P19 now. It is certainly interesting to watch. It's a very unbiased commentator. It's a good entertainment. Let's settle on that. But yes, let's hope the stands are a bit better when the season kicks off. Sure, there will be some sort of message sent out after the race, but that's something to discuss later, as the safety car is going back into the pit lane at the end of lap 16. 20 laps to go. It was 25 with the previous safety car, now it's 20. So and Toto is slowing down massively, and it's everyone bunching up. But he is the one to decide the pace, and I don't think there is a minimum speed limit, so he can do whatever he wants. From one unbiased commentator to another, the Ferrari will win. Well, Jesus has got one of the best cars of the field. He's certainly capable of winning, we already know that. Is he going to be able to win this one? That's the question. Ooh, Josh Bushman almost straight into the wall. It's a bit of a tank slapper on the exit of turn 1. As we all make it through the first few corners. Oh, what has happened to Tuasteri? Has he gone off as well? I fear he has. And the Haas has gone off, and he's down to P20. At some point he was leading this race. But just one mistake is enough to completely ruin it. Down to P20, not even within the DRS range at the moment of Hazza in front. As DRS has been enabled once again. So we see Alpha Ball and getting past Skinner for P10 into turn 1, having a look, and is able to get past Tuasteri into the pit lane. Someone's gone off. Carnotaur's gone off, and he spun it in turn 1. It's a bit silly with all these incidents. And now the Sauber is down to P19. Stuart's area spit it for a new set of mediums. Don't think he had damage, but well, reboot and try again. Got the entire top 4 in one image. Oh, round goes Paul's Ray in the chicane. Not the first time we've seen him go round. Did he get help this time? Didn't quite catch it, but he's back down to P18. It's been such a roller coaster of a race for him so far. Meanwhile, at the front end, there we go, Ferrari into the lead as Jesus gets past Total 1 lap 19. Half 36, just about halfway into this race, and we've already seen so much action. Bit laggy riding on board with Soul Demon. I think more players had a moment as well. Lost quite a few positions. Oh, into the gravel goes Soul Demon. In its Schijflak comes back on the track right ahead of the Williams of Skinner. And that was so close to high drama there, as Skinner had to take some avoiding action to not run straight to the back of the V-Carb. Bit of an unsafe rejoin, I would say. Rejoin nonetheless. Oh, Skullkiller almost taking a look at the inside of Skinner on a place where you really can't put your nose in. Now getting a bit of a bump from behind. Ollie is very eager to get past, and he does go around the outside into turn 1. Oh, and that's another incident, and it's Alpha Hype Wall with Antone, I believe. Or was it Stelios? Not quite sure, but Alpha Hype Wall now down to P11, and it's all kicking off. It has been since the start of this race. How are all these 20 cars still driving? That's beyond me. Once again with the McLaren almost hitting us. Skoker was trying to stay on track. What is that send made from Paul's Ray up the inside of Haase? Absolutely lunging up the inside. Coming through like an absolute cannonball. He's ahead now of Haase. Well, unsurprisingly, Skoker is well, just letting everyone pass right now. Doesn't want to be taken out. He's in the real danger zone though. Wheel to the final corner, into the wall goes Rip Brannan. And once again he finds himself pointing in the wrong direction. And damage to the front wing. And it's not been a very good start of the season so far for our Tier 3 champion of last season. Back down to what will be P20 as Toots Terry is getting past. Is anyone going to be taken by the curb of death this lap? Fortunately not. Good for a change. Look at the gap from Josh Bushman to P5. Mahmoud, how did he end up at P5 by the way? Doing a very good job in the Red Bull, staying out of trouble. That's the most important thing so far in this race. Take a look at the positions actually while we're at it. If I can find it, I can't. There we go. Here we're 30. Getting hit from the back, but he's from P11 on the grid. Turn it into P3 so far in this race. LAF has moved up 11 positions from 16th to 5th so far. Quite the comeback drives we have seen. Gonna keep it on the tires. Shark was down the order as well quite a few laps ago, but he's now in P7 again. It really does change around a lot in this race. Oh no. And Soul Demon's gone off again, and Carnotaur was off right in front and into the wall. I think Pulse Ray had a moment as well. Going through the second sector. It's an absolute war zone out here. Josh Bushman back into the top 3. I'm more focused on the battles down the order at the back end of the top 10 and outside of the top 10 than at the front end. Because that's where it's all happening at the moment. Wheel to wheel into turn 1 we go. L5 ball and a bit of contact. L5 ball. Oh no, that's a more place actually around the outside of Anton. To 11th place. Now Skinner is going to be the next one to try and get past the Ferrari, and there's a bit of contact between the two. Skinner on the outside will turn into the inside line for the next turn as Ferdy is re-overtaken Josh Bosman again. Wheel to wheel into the chicane. And Williams is now in front of the Ferrari into the wall with Skullkiller and Anton. Oh man. Skullkiller with damage and Ferrari with damage. Dragging each other straight into the wall. Every lap really is like the last lap. You're totally right on that. At least they're fighting like it's the last lap for about 24 laps now. It's not been the day for Mercedes, has it? The Skullkiller down in P18, and it's gonna get even worse because his team has not even changed his front wing, and that's a very annoying part of this game. And is that Mahmoud going off? It is Mahmoud going off. Oh days, oh my days. Trying to rejoin, watch out, no one's coming. Free to go, Skinner up the track, into the gravel. Ooh. I don't have many words, but I do. What's going on with the Red Bull? Yeah, Jesus is very quick, but into the wall goes Stelios around the final corner. Is that gonna be another neutralization? It doesn't look to be, but that's another one. Another soldier has fallen. Well, none of them have actually fallen, as a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that's the first one that has fallen. Retirement in pit lane for Stelios. He's the first retirement after a full 25 laps. We survived without any retirements, and we're gonna get 2 immediately at once because Mahmoudov has given up as well. Skoker into the pit lane. Yep, he's gonna be number 3, so we've went from 0 retirements for 25 laps to 3 in just 1 lap. Well, if that does not sum up this race, I don't know what does. But we're down to 17 drivers. But like I was saying, because I get interrupted quite often in this race with something happening, but Jesus, his pace is extremely quick, but he is on mediums and there are still 11 laps to go. There's no way the mediums are gonna last a full 28 laps. At least to my knowledge. Without insane tire management, they're not gonna last. He is gonna have to pit again, from what I'm concerned. So realistically speaking, Tolu is in a race winning position as it stands. Unless we're gonna have another safety car, and that has a very high probability because of what we've seen so far in this race. The midfield has been an absolute, well, land of terrorism, to put it lightly, if you can call it lightly, but it's been an absolute war zone in the midfield. So I think it's more when we're going to see the next season, next safety car, rather than if we're going to see the next safety car. It looks to have settled down a little bit for now. Don't wanna jinx that, of course. As Ollie is up at the P5. He was P20 not too long ago. He's got a 3-second penalty. Where did he come from, actually? P17 to P5. What a drive. Absolutely insane. You think they can last with the right treatment, but with the pace he is setting, it doesn't look like he is trying to conserve his tires to an extreme extent. If he was, then the gap wouldn't have grown to over 3 seconds to Tolu. That's what I think. So, but he could be doing some extreme tire management and have very good pace, don't get me wrong. But I don't think he's going to be able to make it to the end of this race on these sets of tires. If he does, then it'd be, well, extremely impressive. Alfa Wall is having a go, a very late go into turn 1, but is trying to get past the Aston Martin, and he does. Certainly does. Just is cooking. Now you mention it, he is. He is almost closed the gap to under a second to Tolu. I think he has just about. He's also bringing KOR 30 with him. And I think he's a rookie because I haven't seen him drive before. At least not in tier 2 or any tier actually. Last season we've got a yellow flag again. We've got another victim. Oh, and it's holy every single time someone is doing an incredible comeback drive. They're having some sort of incident. It's happened to everyone. LEF had it a few laps ago. Bulls Race had it twice. Now, who else was making a good comeback? Not sure. But it's happened so many times. Just, yeah, commentator's curse at its finest. And there we go for the move. Or at least a look up the inside for Josh Bosman. But he's closed the gap. Right 0.2 of a second. Oh, and that's a spinner, and it's Rip Brannan. What a terrible day he's having on his debut in tier 3. But it's all a learning process. That's what it's all about. And it's a preseason race anyway, so you'll have to drive the race of your life, and there we have it. LAF spun again. Spun again. Is Tolu slow or is Jesus over pushing? I don't think Tolu is slow. What I do think is that Josh Bosman is taking every single chance to bottle the race, and he has done it again. As Rip Brannan is unfortunately out of this race with just 7 laps to go, but there we go, Josh Bosman. Well done on not wanting to finish P2. But I do think Jesus is, he has to come in right soon. There's no way his tires are holding on for 28 laps. It's only 7 to go, but can't comprehend the fact that the tires are able to last that long without popping or without getting a puncture, as well, Josh Bosman just having another moment there. Yeah, at this point you can just stay out. I mean, just risk it and try to go to the end. He's got a gap of 5 seconds, so you can just drive extremely slowly for the next 6 laps. You lose about 8/10 a lap, and you would be fine. If I look at his onboard, I think he is not pushing at all. I can tell you that. He looks to be driving pretty conservatively. But so is everyone else in the top 4. Well, except for Josh Bushman, he's sliding around constantly. 6 laps to go. Is Jesus gonna hold on? Is the champion gonna perform a championship drive? That's the question. Oh. Yeah, don't do that. Ollie and Alpha Eyeball are going at it. Oof. LEF a 5-10 second penalty. That's not quite the line you want to be taking into turn 3, I'm afraid. And there's the safety car Jesus needed. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about what I just witnessed. I'm gonna remain silent on that one. I'm gonna keep the talking for after the race. But that's a Skinner. Oh, yeah, it's just overtaking the safety car. But to me, it looked like an intentional takeout. Haas crash gate. Well, does it really help to Sterry his P11? Unless he's going to perform the drive of his life and win from 11th. But yeah, that wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. But we're gonna have a 5-lap or 4-lap, 3-lap, maybe a 2-lap shootout for the win, with everyone on equal tires. On equal, everything equal. It's gonna be equal for these final couple of laps. It's gonna be incredible. But it's a shame it has to end this way. Actually, it's not gonna be incredible because Haza and Paul's Ray have come out in between Tolu and Jesus. What the hell happened at Tolu's pit stop? He's lost like 3 seconds to Jesus there. I think Jesus has pretty much got a free ticket to the top step of the podium at this stage, because he's got 2 cars in between himself and his next real competitor. Get those 2 cars out of the way. Yeah, it's not Abu Dhabi 2021, is it? And in fact, they are for position, but truth is, it's gonna cause some trouble. 23 lap all the hards, yeah. No match to the softs, but might as well try it when you're down outside the top 10 anyway. P20 to P3 would be incredible, but there's no way he's holding on to that P3. Four laps to go. Alpha Eyeball is the only one to go on mediums, but he just got taken out by the Haas. Not sure if anything happened before that to have caused that, but absolutely no reason at all to do such a thing. No, Michael, no, Michael. This is so not right. But it is. It is right. Michael. No. What happened to Mr. Skinner here? Are we having trouble underneath the safety car? Hope not. What is going on with Tolu? Tolu, yeah, okay. Safety car in his lap. 3 laps of racing to decide the winner of this pre-season race. I hope you are all just as excited as I am. And I have been throughout the entirety of this wonderful race. It's usually really not like this with the standards. It's been a few weeks since the last race, so let's keep it with that. Everyone's very eager and they want to get on with it a little bit too much sometimes. Yeah, I can imagine not looking forward to next week, but I'm sure some message will be put out after the race. Anyway, let's get back to this race for one final time. 3 laps to go, and Jesus leads the wheelie ahead of Hasa and Paul's Ray. Then it's Tolu, the first one on the softs, immediately having a go already. He's in an Alpine sandwich right now. Not sure if baguettes have sandwiches. I saw 2 cars into the wall. Yikes. Soul Demon and more plays, and that's a retirement on track as well. To make it even worse, add salt to the injury. Why not? It doesn't really matter anymore, does it? Oh, Josh Bosman's got past Tolu. What has happened to Tolu? No, Tolu has lost so many places. He's down to P6, passed by both Josh Bosman and Verdi. Hey, yeah, the aggression is very high with 3 laps to go. That we can see with the Ferrari of Anton spinning Alpha Ibol, who's been taken out not once but now twice in this race. The 2 Alpines are going at it like Ocon and Gasly do in real life. Josh Bosman takes the position away from both of them. Well done to the boys in the French outfit. Oui, merde. DRS enabled for the penultimate lap. Jesus built a 2-second lead over Hasa, who is still out there on his heart. Welcome back, Australia 2023. Yep, you're absolutely right on that. What did I witness? Where are you going, Paul's Ray? We just served a qualifying ban prior to this race. Well, don't want to get another one, do you? With retiring on track, that's not supposed to happen. But Josh Bosman around the outside of Hasa, not quite able to pull it off. But gonna pull it to the inside now into this turn. Does that work? Bit of contact, but he gets it done. In the end, Josh Bosman, I said he was gonna bottle it, but this time he's actually putting it off. He's on to P2. Well done, Mr. Bosman. And Tolu is going to be the next one to try and get past Hasa as soon as possible. Oh, up the inside, not quite, a bit of a late move from the Williams. Try and switch it back, not quite a place to go for the move. Which Terry thinks otherwise. He was P11, remember? He's now fighting for P5, possibly P4. What a switchback that is! Onto into the final corner. Very tricky to go wheel to wheel through there, very dangerous as well. But they are managing it all, and they're staying on track, and that's what matters. Into turn 1, Tolu is trying to get past, but what? Hazard just round the outside on his own hearts, putting it off. What a mad lap. To Sterry up to P5. Oh, in the background I'm seeing things I don't want to see. And Tolu with the better exit gets past Hazard finally and is up into P3. That's not the place to go for the move. That's a that was not a very clean move there from George there to go up from the inside there. He's got another opportunity right here. No wait, please don't go 3 wide. But he's gonna have to go the long way around the outside. Is that gonna work? Oh, Haas has got used tires. They're wheel to wheel in the back. Oh. In the background, someone goes off, but Jesus round the final corner, the reigning champion is gonna win and put up a champion's driver across the line, and Jesus wins with the fastest lap as well. Full points for him. Josh Bosman in P2, Tolu in P3, absolute war zone in the back. Who's gonna get P4? Hasa gets it. P4 ahead of Switch there by 17 thousandths of a second. Shark P6, Carnator P7, Anton P8, Alpha Ball P9, KOR 30 P10. LAF P11, Skinner P12, and well, 46 seconds. 46, well, excruciating seconds to wait for this race to end. Please end this race as soon as possible. But, well, Jesus' win has been overshadowed by anything and everything that happened during this race, because, let's be real, it was not very pretty. But hopefully that's not a sign of things to come for the real season. It will get better. The drive of today has been given to Haza for holding on to P4. Fair enough to him. Fair play on those very old hearts. Josh robbed himself again, well, not quite as much as he used to. P2 still in the end, but there was certainly more to it. Flawless drive from our reigning world champion. Gets it done. In the most chaotic circumstances. Here are the results. Josh Bosman snatched the fastest lap in the end. I didn't even witness that. From pole to P2. I forgot he started on pole. I forgot absolutely everything about qualifying the first couple of laps because it was trash. It wasn't trash, but it was chaos, carnage, all that. Anyway, race is done. Finally, I'm glad it is, because that's going to be the end of the stream as well. Let's end it as soon as possible, and let's hope we get some better racing next week when we kick off the season officially for round 1. The Brazilian Grand Prix at Interlagos, Sao Paulo. Anyway, that's it for now. I hope you see you next week. And yep, I'll see you then. Good night, and please clean your eyes, because that was not a good watch, was it? Anyway, I'm off. See ya.